candidate. Go live. We're live on TikTok. What's up, everybody on TikTok?
Endorsed by Trump is another.
Make sure you watch it. You get a chance to get the uncut version of the Antonio Parkinson Project right here on the hood cam. And that's Michelle back there waving at y'all. And that's Angelica acting like she's reading something ain't no pictures on.
Yes.
Ain't no pictures on her paper. So
I prepare. Okay.
All right. Let me know when we're ready. Give me a countdown and wait a minute. One sec. We still got a couple seconds. Okay.
No.
Yep.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Go.
Welcome to the Antonio Parkinson Project. I am Antonio Parkinson, and today we are talking about Mark Robinson. He's the Lieutenant Governor of North Carolina, and he's currently the Republican gubernatorial candidate for governor of North Carolina. And Angelica, he got caught with his hand in the dirty cookie jar. Also, we're going to be talking about Diddy's recent arrest and his troubles. We're also going to talk about the school shooting threats and the responses that are coming from the law enforcement agencies across the country and right here in Memphis. Also, we're going to ask this question. 5 things black people say when they aren't listening. Don't answer that right now, Angelica. And lastly, we got Michael Adrian Davis, radio sensation, that's going to be on the show with us today. You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project. Hit that subscribe button. We'll be right back.
And 3, 2, 1. Go.
Welcome back to the Antonio Parkinson Project. I am Antonio Parkinson. I'm joined right here with my lovely co-host, Angelica Jelly Woods in the building. Give it up for her.
Yes.
Whoa,
Yeah, I'm
whoa.
so happy to be on time. I am not in the hot seat tonight, okay?
Boy, that clap was a little light, but you know, that's all good. And y'all give it up for my DJ. He's my DJ. DJ, what the heck?
A fan. The fan.
Wow. Michael Jackson with the fan in front. Where's DJ Kojak, Angelica?
That's your DJ. I told y'all to fire the DJ last week, but when I said that, y'all thought I was being me. I'm just joking. Y'all. Kojak got this joking. You know I love
No, she ain't joking. I know Kojak is watching live with his late ass, but you know, Kojak is on some CP time, and Michelle, what did he tell you that he? Oh, is that what he said? You had your mic on, Michelle?
Is that a sign that black people ain't
Boy,
listening? They make up their own story.
Look, man. Hey, that is one of them signs, man. Man, black folks know they be black folks. Yeah. What did he tell you, Michelle? Oh my goodness, come on. Hey, look.
Well, he told me he waited on the food.
He said we were going to start going live at 6 instead of 5.
Oh, okay.
And ain't nobody said nothing like
No,
that
I
at
heard
all. Right?
No.
So we ain't even got a scratch.
No,
And then I want to send a shout out to our guest who's in the studio right now, Michael A. God, what the?
yeah, black people
Angelica?
just ain't. It's black people just ain't doing right.
So we ain't got no DJ Kojak,
No DJ,
and we ain't got no guest.
no guests.
So all of these folks on CP time.
CP time, your time. I'm
This is not Central Time. This is not CST. This is CPT.
and definitely CPT time because they didn't get the memo or something. But guess what? We're gonna work it out, right?
We're gonna work it out.
Yes, we're gonna work it out.
So Angelica, I'm glad you said that. So we're gonna talk about your favorite person in the world. It's the Lieutenant Governor of
Why he gotta be my
of
favorite?
North Carolina,
Lord
Mr.
Jesus.
Mark Robinson. Man,
Yes.
Mark Robinson.
AKA Black Nazi.
That's what he said. He called himself, right? According to according to CNN. You know, Mark Robinson, who is the current Lieutenant Governor
Just scared.
of the state of North Carolina.
North Carolina.
And if you hadn't been keeping up with it, Mark Robinson is a black Republican, right? And he is currently running for governor of North Carolina, and he is the Republican nominee.
Endorsed by Trump.
Endorsed by Trump.
We should start with that before we said black Nazi.
Yeah. He this black Republican is endorsed by Donald Trump. And you know, it reminds me of the other black Republican that Trump endorsed, Byron Donald.
I don't know about Brian.
But I think that Mark Robinson has out. Oh man, I can't say this, man. I'm up for re-election, so I can't say it the way I want to say it. But Mark Robinson has out.
Tell me in my ear, I'll say it for you. I ain't running for nothing.
Okay. Yeah. Mark Robinson has out.
Cooned. Out-cooned? Did he out-cooned? Out-cooned? Is that the word I want
Byron
to use?
Donald. So
Yeah.
Mark Robinson.
We call him something else.
Mark Robinson was apparently CNN or somebody.
Yeah, an investigator on CNN.
Yeah, the K Files. That's what CNN calls it, the K Files. Apparently, Mark Robinson was on some porn sites, you know, back in the day.
One of them that you watch.
Yeah, Nude Africa. Nude Africa. So here's the thing about Nude Africa.
Y'all see that? Y'all see that? I slid that on there.
Hey, you know, I'm gonna be straight up with you. I seen, you know, Nude Africa used to come across my feed back in the day. So you got to understand. So let me give you a time frame. This was, I think they pulled his information from 2008
to 2012.
So 4 years of information, and you know, back then, this is back during the Black Planet days, and you know, and Nude Africa. So. You know, I've never signed up on a porn site. I can tell you that. I've never ever signed up on a porn site. Oh, people do.
Why?
A lot of people, the women do. Well, it's free now, so they don't do it as much. But yeah, I've never signed up on a porn site. But the Nude Africa teasers used to come across the feed, right? And there'd be some sisters on there, right, or African
Why
women.
it never came across my feed?
Well, you know. That's a really good question. You know,
Because you said there was no such thing.
Well,
as
they wasn't algorithm in back then. You know, so anyway, so apparently, this guy, Mark Robinson, the current lieutenant governor of North Carolina, and the current Republican nominee for governor of the state of North Carolina, was on Nude Africa with these comments. Nichelle, tell us what those comments were. Oh my goodness, Nichelle, your timing is
Not the hello. She said the hello.
Right.
I just want to make sure
She
we
said
can hear me.
okay.
All right. He says, I like watching tranny on girl porn. That's fucking hot.
hello. We gonna get it together.
It
Okay,
takes the man out while leaving
Wait a minute,
the
start
man
that over again, or do I need to say it? Do I need to read it? I didn't want to do that. That's why I didn't want to do it. Come on, bring it. You got it over there with you? Come on over here. Yeah. No, you can read it. Go here. Come on over
You
here.
gotta show your face. Go ahead.
Yeah, she can show her face.
Okay.
Y'all gonna let the girl show
We're
her
gonna
face?
switch the camera.
All right, she can come here. It's taller than Kojak.
You want me to go to 4? There
Yeah.
we go.
Okay,
Yeah.
not,
There
not
we go,
her.
there we
Not
go.
her hit.
The
Not her
quote
hit.
is, I was gonna go. The quote is, I like watching tranny on girl porn. That's fucking hot. It takes the man out while leaving the man in.
Wow.
And-
Hold on. Wait a minute.
Hold on now. I
Wait a
don't know
minute,
about
wait a
that
minute,
comment
wait a
now.
minute.
What?
Repeat that one more time. Come on back. She done dropped her
You
phone.
went over there too far. You went too fast.
He said, I like watching tranny on girl porn. That's fucking hot. It takes the man out while leaving the man in. And yeah, I'm a perv too.
Pause. He like, now Angelica.
No, we ain't going commercial.
No. But, hey man, that's some that
By
now.
taking them
Now
out.
that's some Diddy. I don't know about.
Oh,
this.
Lord,
Well,
no.
that's some. You know what? You know how you be thinking. You be thinking like, you know, you a freak. You do some freak shit, you know. But then folks
You
be,
hear something?
man, folks just, man.
Out freak you?
Just completely.
Out freak you, think you doing something, you like,
You
what
think
in
you
the
doing something?
world?
Yeah, girl. This, that, and other, yeah. And then you hear
God.
a dude say this.
Now, hold on. How you gonna be late and then come in here with a slice of pizza eating it though?
Man, boy, I'm telling you. Then he tried to wear the hat, Brandon. Like, look.
Try to
But
make
anyway,
up-
let's go back to
Okay. Oh yeah,
okay.
girl.
Yeah, so
Oh yeah. Okay,
yeah, y'all
right
give it up for
there.
DJ Kojak who got here 15 minutes late in the show.
We about to. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
What's it? Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, I was
girl.
there with you.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. Or the woman that said, yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna turn you upside down and all this. And then you get a Mark Robinson that says, I like to watch transgender women
What?
F
What I come in on?
women because it's what is man in and man out at the same
It's
time.
like having a man there without the man. Yeah, it's like the man's there,
But
without being there.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
But here's the interesting thing about Mark Robinson in that space.
And today versus
He
today.
is
Thank you.
anti-LGBTQ,
Today.
trans, this, that, and other
Today.
today.
Today. Yes.
Today.
Today.
Unbelievable.
But
Unbelievable.
social media things don't go away. Whether it was
Man.
how many years ago, it just popped up.
Ooh-wee.
He think he can hide because he's denied because his name doesn't match, but them emails do. So I mean, they got some, shout out to the investigators on that team. It must be a black woman on there.
Yeah.
Investigator, definitely a black woman investigator.
But they said his emails match, his profiles match, his emails match his Twitter account today, and
just slow change
and some of his other social accounts.
just like a man. Just
No, it ain't like no man. Ain't no.
Yeah, when you do something, you gotta make sure.
No,
okay, I forgot I'm the man basher. I'm sorry.
Liking to watch.
Don't do
I'm
that.
a man basher. I'm sorry.
Liking to watch trans women have sex with women is not.
I'm
just
talking
like a
about.
man.
I'm talking about cleaning up the mess. Cleaning up the mess. Using the same email and same profile picture.
Man,
Like,
that's
sir.
just dumb.
Yeah.
But you know,
Hello, duh, man.
yeah. But here's the other thing. He also said that he is a black Nazi and that tell me about the slavery part again.
He want to go back to slavery.
He wanted.
He
but
supports it.
no, we gotta get it right. His let me read it on notes.
He verbatim.
Yeah.
I'm a black Nazi.
Look at
and
Coach.
Okay, look, Coach.
he expressed support for
Reinstating.
reinstating
Slavery. Okay.
slavery.
You better read, Coach. Kojak, you better read.
Say that one more time.
Give him enough
Kojak.
time.
Yeah.
He referred to himself as a black Nazi
I feel like he reading the Bible, seeing
and expressed support for reinstating slavery. This
Man, so and so that's just unfreaking believable, but believable because they are out there. Uncle Ruckus in the flesh, right? Okay, yeah. And so, but there's more. There's more. You know, what was the other thing? Let me see, because there was another one that he said, huh? Okay, what you got? Your mic on, or you need to come over here? Yeah. Come on, Michelle. Yeah.
get in there.
They said
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
website, and the shell's coming around that his own sexual arousal as an adult from the memory of peeping on women
Oh, that
in the
was
public
what it was.
gym
That's
shower
what it was. That's what it was.
as a 14-year-old.
One more time. Read it again. One more time.
On the website, Nude Africa, Parkinson's website. I'm sorry. Was that in that note? Okay, that was.
Oh, okay, because I'm going to fire back at you just a second, because that is not Parkinson's
I'm
website.
joking, y'all.
Right.
I'm just
Whoa.
joking. That he ain't gonna clip that part anyways.
Yeah,
that ain't gonna make it.
I'm going to clip the whoa and everything. But go
On
ahead.
the website, Nude Africa, Robinson graphically described his own sexual arousal as an adult from the memory of peeping on women in the public gym showers as a 14-year-old.
That is, wait a minute, man. So he was,
That's not.
he's
14 boy looking at women. Is that bad?
okay, you got a daughter coming up.
What you mean?
Okay.
They're looking at grown women. He's 14.
Well,
Most boys get pat
but you know, it's still, yeah, come on,
Now
Michelle,
he
what you
did
got?
the other thing around.
On this same website, Nude Africa Forum, he expressed a desire to bring slavery back and buy a few slaves while identifying himself as a black Nazi. According to CN, he also says slavery is not bad. Some people need to be slaves. I wish they would bring it back. I would certainly buy a few. This was in 2010.
Not buy a
Wow,
few.
come on, man. And
He said buy
I
a
ain't gonna
few.
lie, man. He has
meanness,
he
this is ridiculous.
he what's the other guy? Well, them Carolinas be showing out with them black folks, right? Because you got Mark
in the water,
Robinson
some in the water.
and what's the dude in South Carolina that looked like the dude on Fat Albert cartoon?
Teddy, really?
Yeah,
I don't know
bro,
his
come
name.
on, y'all.
He left me at
yeah,
that album.
Yeah, come on, y'all.
I don't know his name.
Y'all know he's the senator from South Carolina. Who is it?
Parkers, you the only people that know this. He's the only people that know
yeah,
this.
Tim Scott.
Tim Scott.
He the
So
only people that know
let's
this.
look at this. So you got, man, just straight down I-95. You got Mark Robinson. You got I need you to say the word. Say the word.
Coon.
You got
Coon.
Tim Scott going south on 95. Tim Scott.
Coon.
Then you got Byron Donald in Florida.
Coon.
Then you got Herschel Walker in Georgia.
Coon.
Man, boy. Ooh, the
Coon Town,
coonery.
Coon City,
The
whatever.
coonery.
Coon State, whatever you
What's
wanna
happening
call
up the corridor on I-95,
it. Something in
man?
the water.
Ooh, wee, goodness gracious. So look, you know, this is a trending story, and here's the implications. Got you. Here's the implications. So North Carolina is a swing state.
Yeah.
Yeah. North Carolina is a swing state, not a swinging state, Mark Robinson, a swing state.
You made him sad with that.
Right, I know, right? I know, right? Yeah, no pun intended. So the Republicans are calling for Mark Robinson to drop out of the governor's race,
Really?
and that's their nominee, and they want to replace him. The Republicans are calling. Now, watch this. He was supposed to appear with J.D. Vance the day before this stuff came out. He didn't show. He was supposed to appear with Trump, I think, today or tomorrow. I don't think that's going to happen. And he has canceled a lot of his scheduled appearances. So
he canceled by the Republicans.
yeah, so it may be in the water, but here's the beauty of it. If he is, I think I'd much rather he stay in the race. To be honest with you.
Yeah, because we might work it out there. Yeah.
Right, and you know, but if North Carolina gets a Democratic governor, that would be great.
Yeah.
And if the Democrats come out and vote in North Carolina because of this idiot,
Yeah.
then maybe we can pull North Carolina out for Kamala Harris.
But they know that. That's why they try to get rid of him.
That's
They
right,
know
right,
they thinking the
right.
same
They know they
thing
gonna-
you
it's
thinking.
gonna
They know
split.
that. They know
It's gonna
that.
split
Yeah.
them up because half of them don't want them there nowhere.
Oh yeah. Truth
So
be
they'll split it
told.
up.
Yeah.
Truth be told, because we are talking about North Carolina. North Carolina, that's the first place I was where I was outwardly called a ninja by a white dude, and he said it like it was second nature.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
Probably
Asking me
was.
about my dog. Where'd you get that pretty bulldog from? N-word? Bruh. I'm like, what?
I would tell
But that is North Carolina.
I would tell him your mama. That's what I told her.
And then when I was stationed in North Carolina also, you know, in one of the bars there was a dude a black guy that frequented this little dive bar, and his name was, according to the white folks, Nigger Jim.
Oh,
And he answered to it.
nigga Jim.
I'm like, wait a minute, what?
Y'all gonna get kicked off.
Right. I'm like, what? Yes. And he answered to it to them, hey.
Ninja.
And then when he walk in the bar, they be like, hey, Nigger Jim.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, what? You know, I'm a Marine in there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And so that's
Definitely
that.
Uncle
Well,
Tom.
that was in the late 80s. So
Yeah.
I was there from 87 to 89. I don't know how much has changed since then.
Hopefully a
but
lot.
but it is North Carolina. And so I guess if they would have called Mark Robinson and stuff like that, he'd have been like, hey, fellas.
Yeah,
Yeah. Hey, guys.
They
Right.
probably did.
He's Ninja Mark.
Right.
Pick up Ninja Mark.
You got one more time. You got
Right.
one more time.
All right, y'all. Hey, look, don't go anywhere. We got more to talk about. We got Diddy coming up. We got 5 things black people say when they aren't listening. I wonder what Mark Robinson says.
Like-
Don't answer that. And plus, we got Michael Adrian Davis. He will be in the building and shortly. So don't go anywhere. Hit that subscribe button, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to the Antonio Parkinson Project. I am Antonio Parkinson. You're watching the fastest growing visual podcast in the Memphis market. Y'all give it up for that.
Facts.
Y'all give it up for my lovely co-host, Angelica Jelly Woods, in the building. She is
Hey,
eating
y'all.
Little Caesars pizza. Look at her.
That's what happened with Kojak. When he brings food, you're gonna eat Little Caesars, Taco Bell, and Crystals. I mean,
Wow. Ooh,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's gonna be
man.
right under
Hey,
the
hey,
bus.
look, she
Right
gonna,
under the bus.
she gonna need a bathroom break, man, in a minute. Yeah,
no,
man, look.
I got an iron stomach, sir.
Y'all, that's my DJ. That's my late DJ. Give it up for my DJ. That's DJ Kojak in the building. DJ Kojak, scratch it up for him 4 times.
Bam, bam, bam. One time for that delicious Little Caesar.
Man, Angelica, I ain't heard shit. I ain't
Well,
heard no
I
scratch,
ain't heard
Angelica. I ain't heard a damn scratch.
Nothing.
Angelica, this
Boo.
man walking here. This man walking here 30
Boo the
minutes
DJ.
late. Boo the DJ.
Oh,
Boo.
party damn. Just
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll take that.
yeah, man, walking here 30 minutes
I'll
late.
take that. Go ahead.
Y'all listen,
I
man.
had Nate
look,
all day.
we have already planned our come to Jesus meeting because you know we got to get back into the space
AKA,
that we're
that means
supposed to be.
Daddy
in.
got us in time out.
Yeah, for real, man. Yeah, 'cause, you know, we got people that want to see us. They want to see us, and they expect a certain level of professionalism and entertainment. Am I correct, Nichelle?
We professional now?
You are. Yeah, you are. Are you not? This what you told us? You were a professional. Did it change?
That came out your mouth.
Did
I don't
you
know, we
used to
be
tell us you were a
I
professional?
don't know, we be professional all the time on this podcast.
Man, I think
Uh,
we're professional
yeah,
entertainers.
get the timer started,
Ooh,
Michelle, so we
let
be
me get my
professional.
timer started too, because y'all on one today. Yeah. All right, y'all. So listen. So on Tuesday, Sean Diddy Combs was arrested and held without bail.
Oh my God.
And then his attorneys went back and he was denied bail again,
Yeah,
right?
so sad.
He is charged with sex trafficking, racketeering, conspiracy, and transportation to engage in prostitution. And honestly, I think those are just charges to bring him in. And I think I would venture to say there may be more charges coming. You know, because what's the word for that? It's a something indictment, which means that there could be more charges coming too. Combs has pleaded not guilty to the charges in federal court in New York City. And that morning when he was arrested, a 14-page indictment was revealed to the public. A superseding indictment. That's the term, superseding indictment. And in that document, you know, prosecutors allege that Diddy has been a part of a criminal organization. So this is are they going on some RICO stuff also that engaged in or attempted to engage in sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, because dude's car got burned up, right?
Yeah.
What's his name? Kid
Kid
Cudi.
Cudi.
Yeah, okay, good.
Yeah, bribery, celebrity silence, obstruction of justice, Jesus,
They throwing
and other offenses.
And those offenses carry heavy charges. Like, so even if you get one acquitted with one, you still looking at 25 years, 15 years, each one of those charges. So I don't know. And they were saying that they had him have federal court in New York because in New York they typically hold the gun to you in New York.
Man,
they don't play in the Fed.
yeah,
the
it's
Feds
the-
don't play in New York. So
It's the Southern
it was
District, the
strategic, yeah.
same district that convicted Trump. And I think wasn't R. Kelly in the same?
no, I
he
think
wasn't in Chicago.
no,
He was in. I thought he was in New York.
Was he in New York?
Yeah, I thought it was New York. But
Yeah, 'cause they do got this meme,
we'll
yeah.
see.
We're gonna double check.
They also referred to the video that we all saw where Diddy was attacking Cassie
Yep.
in 2016. That the video that was released earlier this year. It names his parties as freak-offs in the
yeah.
indictment, so they call it what it is, what it's been called, freak-offs, and alleges that Diddy used video from these freak-offs to hold it against the victims that were,
Yep.
part of it. I wonder if Mark Robinson was in some of those freak-offs. Think Mark Robinson went to a Diddy party?
He might have. He
He
might
was
have.
in, but he was out.
He was in, but he was out.
He was in, but he was out.
At the same time.
Yeah.
He
the
might
same
have.
thing.
It also noted that 1,000. Now this is
Now,
damn
they
no,
was
man. Hold
petty.
up
They was
before I
being
say
petty.
that.
They being
Nah,
petty.
they were being very, very petty with this because I'm like, come on, y'all. They said that there were 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant. That was found in Diddy's house. Also, there were some AK-47s with the serial number scratched off, and hundreds of dildos. That's my first time hearing that one.
I wouldn't know that.
I don't know, but it's in my notes, man.
I didn't see that.
Nichelle, you wasn't being petty, was you? So, okay. 110 dildos. Let him in, Rico.
But see, people were saying that maybe they weren't being petty. They was trying to give the scope of like how big these parties.
784 dildos.
Yeah, they were trying to give a scope of how big these parties and like how this sexual whatever encounters were. But
784 dildos. Wow.
he you talking about my stomach? I ain't gonna make it to the bath. My stomach gonna be tore up going to the bathroom. He probably can't even pass gas. But yes, I don't know.
Well,
Wow.
they probably ain't passing gas. But if you keeping it,
That's
ain't
what I
it's just falling out.
Oh yeah, he did give IVs.
Yeah.
To get 'em back.
So then there
Bring
was
'em
IV
back to
coming
life.
back. Yeah. Yeah,
But you know, celebrities are coming to his defense, saying like, when has freak niggas been a big deal? Like, some of these people, women know they getting flew out. He a billionaire. Blah 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 blah. So you know, I don't know. I'm not saying me. I'm saying celebrities. Yes, example Boosie. Faison came to his defense too, and then somebody else did just a moment ago too. He went off on live. I'm gonna tell you who it was.
Okay. Was it Michael Adrian Davis?
No,
Michael Adrian Davis didn't come to his defense?
no.
Oh, y'all give it up for our guest,
Yeah,
Michael
yeah,
Adrian
yeah.
Davis in the building.
Yeah,
Yeah. Hey, so Michael Adrian Davis, we ain't gonna roast you yet, but I'm gonna roast you in the next segment. But what are your thoughts on this whole Diddy thing, man?
Man, I haven't really followed it enough. I would imagine that if you do the crime, you are deserving of whatever that that brings. So we'll have to wait and see.
let us bring you up to speed since you ain't
Okay.
followed it, so
All
because I
right,
want to
all
get your opinion.
Lord.
So how many? Give us the number of what was found
so
again,
petty.
Nichelle. So 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant.
They said Johnson hate to see him coming. But go ahead.
784 dildos.
This is the stuff they found at his home. when they
Found in his
raided
home.
house?
And AK-47s with scratched off serial numbers. Yeah. And so I would think that Johnson & Johnson would love to see him coming because hell, they run the stock up. Johnson & Johnson, they got a #1 customer.
Yeah, I guarantee.
If it was Johnson & Johnson, it might have been Dollar General baby oil. But anyway, so what do you think about that, man? Huh? 3 AR-15s. Yeah, and it's interesting. Let's talk about that for a second, right? Here you are, a multimillionaire. Almost was he a billionaire at one time? Yeah. And you got AR-15s with scratched off serial numbers in your house. What is? Help me understand that mentality, man.
Yeah, well, as far as his personal life and the life that he lives in America, you're innocent until proven guilty, and those who again he has egreged, because I would imagine in his 20, 30-year career, he's made a lot of people's career, and he's probably done some dastardly things. So those who what is a hit dog gonna holler?
Yeah.
So those who holler, if they have the receipts, then they should get whatever repentance it is, whatever repercussions it is. However, the dildos, the low baby oil, he can afford it, he can have it. That is, that's everybody's prerogative. I'm saying the biggest sin is to not transgress against the free will of another sentient being. So a lot of people.
What the hell does that mean? What does that mean? What is a sentient being?
A sentient being is anything that
I
has.
know what it means. I'm just kidding.
Okay. Feelings or emotions are like a tree is a sentient being because it actually can feel. So again, some of the people went willingly.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
they have to lose it
each
out.
his own. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but so let's separate the two, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But anybody that says that they were, and then some people that what you call willingly, it was still coerced because you knew they wanted the carrot at the end of this race. You see what I'm saying? And you use that maybe to influence them to do a little something they wouldn't normally do.
Do some strange for some change, right? Right.
Okay.
But what? Let's separate this though.
Okay.
Now, your baby oil and your dildo, that's your thing, right? If that's your thing. That's not my thing. That's your thing, right? Now, but having the scratched off serial numbers on AR-15 on assault rifles, right? When you are at that level of, and I'm not just saying entertainer, but at that level of a personality, right?
Well, having the scratched off serial numbers at any level. Would be, what I'm saying, I guess if that's the thing against the law, it would be against the law.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that, see, a lot of things, when you say crime don't pay, if you're a stupid person to do stupid crimes, you generally weren't that smart to start with. And so then when you get deeper into something that maybe you've been in so long, you may need it. And because we aren't in his shoes, because we are mere mortals, so to speak, you know what I'm saying? We don't even know the lifestyle that would cause you to have a scratched off AK-47 in your home. You see what I'm talking about? And so, and we could ponder and pontificate, or we can allow law enforcement to do their jobs and find out if those AK-47s are connected to any crimes. You see what I'm saying? They can go back and do forensic and they can find that, and then we're really going to, and then it's a story. But short of that, people got DVDs that they bought hot off the street. We got a lot of illegal stuff in our homes, I'm saying to you, and I understand the egregiousness of a AK-47, but again, we got 45, Smith 22, I don't even know the number, I'm not a gun person.
You go buy from your cousin who ain't supposed to have no gun.
I mean, so.
Well, and I got to gently push back on that.
Because you're saying that because because at his level, what he could do more with it.
No. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is, at his level, he can afford to purchase
A real
AK-47s
if he was doing
and
legitimate stuff,
AR-15s
you're
and-
saying, but you would
Right.
imagine this is for illegitimate stuff.
You know, and my point, right?
Okay.
Right. My point is, at his level again, you know, why are your hands getting dirty?
Yeah.
You follow
In
me?
your house.
And
Why
why?
is it-
Yeah. Why would your hands get dirty for anything?
And
Yeah,
could,
you
could
know-
it have been planted? Could somebody had added some stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, have we got the full story?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I mean, we kind of out here running in front of the people. You know what I'm saying? Come to find out that was his nephew gun who had came through from the Bahamas and left it in the basement. I mean,
But-
we
but-
don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Who was he before he was Diddy, Sean Puff?
He was an intern for.
I'm just saying, was he in the
for-
streets? Maybe he just.
No.
Because some
No.
people, I'm just playing opposite. You know what I mean? I'm just
Advocate,
being,
Angelica.
I'm just throwing it out there. He may have just been used to that lifestyle and he just had the money now. I mean, some people don't change just because you add money to it. They still have a certain type of lifestyle.
But that wasn't his lifestyle.
Yeah.
He
I'm
wasn't-
just- I
he
don't
wasn't-
know.
And it's 20, 30 years later. And he
Yeah,
been- he
yeah.
been
Some
in
people
the game a
don't.
long
Some people
time.
don't grow up. They don't grow up.
Yeah.
They don't grow up.
No, but you know.
The crimes grow up. If you do, little
Yeah.
things, when you get
Yeah.
big money, you do big things. And so,
But you know, but it speaks to this point, and this is where I was trying to go with this. Is you know you pride will eat your ass up.
Sure.
You know, pride will blind the shit out of you.
Yeah.
You know, you reach this pinnacle, and you know, and everything is at my beck and call, and this, that, and other.
Yeah.
And I'll give you an example. You know, it as a state representative, right? It would be easy for pride to eat your ass up. And I'm tell you why. When you come down them hallways of the state capitol, right? You got all of these, you know, white men for the most part, you know, that are coming up to you, patting you on your back, shaking your hand, smiling in your face. You're the greatest. This, that, and other. Hey, touche. Yeah. Man, how's the family? Such and such. But and so and if you could not keep yourself grounded, you would think that shit is for real.
yeah.
And it is absolutely not, because who they're speaking to is that vote. They ain't speaking to Touche. They're speaking to the vote.
And,
Right.
And can I say this? Here's another.
Yeah.
Here's another perspective. I'm gonna let you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let
Yeah, go ahead and do
I
your
don't want to
thing.
forget. But here's the real adage that power corrupts, and absolute
Absolute
power
power.
corrupts absolutely.
Absolutely. That's
so
right.
when Diddy or anybody is in spaces where you have nobody to answer to. Everybody needs somebody where the buck is gonna stop. And when you are at the top of the food chain, then it's easy. I tell you another example. Smokey Norfolk, the gospel artist, my friend from Pine Bluff, and he was telling me how when he first got as an artist, because he was already a preacher, but when he became as an artist and he got the national acclaim, when he would go somewhere, when he would first go somewhere, they pick him up in a van or in a Pinto or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But then after he started getting national acclaim and Creflo Dollar and these people start flying him in on jets and TD Jakes flying, and then he said, then he got to the point where then he needed a 5-star hotel, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he had to, and then when his wife would go to church as a pastor, he said, when you first got to church, you know, you just go in and do your thing. But after a while, people come get your baby from you. They come take you. You know what I mean? People start treating you like that, to your point. And once you get used to that level of pamperism, I don't know another word, then, you know, you can easily to get spoiled, to your point, or to get to the degree where you think you're above the system or the situation.
And
you
I
know
just
what I'm
think,
saying?
and he was just comfortable. Sometimes with any crime, he's been doing it for so long, and he's been getting away with it. And that's deception. That's how deceit happens. He got comfortable. He thought he was never going to be touched. That's what people like. How did he have all that stuff in his house? And he knew he was under. People get comfortable. They think they're invincible. They just do it so long. It could have started like a little freak party and it turned into a big old. I don't know,
Yeah.
big old.
Well, my thing is you get ushered into it.
Yeah,
you know,
slowly.
the industry was there before he
That's
got
what they-
here.
that's what they said.
So they walked him through it.
Yeah.
He's a little puppy. They walked him through it,
And
you
it
know,
seemed like he became a gatekeeper.
Right.
A
And once,
monster.
and once you became a gatekeeper.
Why do you say? Tell me, explain
Well,
why you say you
I-
think he
you know,
became a gatekeeper.
You know, again, I don't know all the
Right.
the record label type stuff, all that, but I do know that the two other guys, Tupac and Biggie, that was kind of in the game at the time, aren't here anymore, and so he kind of by virtue inherited that. And we know now that in any community, you know, if you want to get, say, for example, you want to get the black community to come, you find one influencer that brings you the whole rest of the black people. You see what I'm saying? And so at that point, he was at the top of the food chain in some regards. And then just like, I hate to bring his name into it, but just as Bill Cosby gave a lot of opportunity for a lot of people back during those times, you see what I'm saying? And some of those people were willing to do things to get those opportunities maybe they shouldn't have. And so that even swap with no swindle. But then when you do it and then you cry on it, Then now you got to go back and prove some stuff, and then you get into all that. I don't even know how I got into that, but that's the point.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Sometimes we get like
exactly.
that.
Shoot, the gatekeeper. He the gatekeeper of the parties too. He was known for his parties.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah, yeah,
he
yeah.
is a gay. He is a part. He is a party scene. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I went to one with the gospel when I was at the gospel music workshop.
You went
of
to a Diddy
America.
party?
I think it was at one of his spaces in New York or
you know
something.
what? I went to Diddy party one
with
time.
with Mary,
Nah,
Hold
Mary
on.
and
Hold-
Johnny McClurkin, and it wasn't a party. It was at a restaurant or something.
So
doing
now-
the GMWA.
yeah, so
and
I
they
got
had it
you.
at one of his spaces or something.
Hey man, but you know what though, man? People talk about, you went to a gospel or gospel party, but man, hey, gospel artists are artists too.
See?
Hey, no, that's why you smiling, because
depending on
I mean,
yeah,
people
not
are
everybody,
people,
not
you know what I'm saying?
everybody.
man,
People
look,
are
say
people.
what you want to say. Gospel artist is the entertainment business.
Yeah.
Come on, Mike.
So they
But
get
some
it in.
people,
on, Mike.
but some
Come
people
on,
do
Mike.
it for real. So that you can't. Yeah, there's always an exception.
But again,
Yeah.
you realize that all have sinned and come short, and so
Oh,
even,
yeah.
even though you were, that's how you end up getting the gospel. That's why the songs are so effective, because you went through something, because you were hopefully delivered from something, which means that you had a past. And if you had a
Yeah.
past, depending on how long you had that past, you could have hit one of these parties. I don't know, but the point is that when you change, you have the ability to change. You know what I'm saying? And old things are made old, and new things are made new. And so,
Yeah.
again, for me, I try not to judge anybody, because first two things: one, in America, you're innocent until proven guilty, and once proven guilty, then whatever it is that should come with that should come with that. And secondly, we have to realize that every tub has to sit on its own bottom. You see what I'm saying? And when we constantly, and I know this is, of course, podcast, and this is the job of the pontificators to talk about that. But at the end of the day, man, you know what I'm saying? Everybody, has to kind of live for their oneself. And so I just hope that we all understand that even though we can talk about Diddy, he's still a real human. He has kids, he has a family, he has people who love him. He has people who I'm sure that think he's the greatest guy in the world. He's given opportunities to, that he's made platforms for. And then you got other people that think he should be executed today. You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? So,
That's going to be a great clip. Hey, look, y'all don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Antonio Parkinson Project. You are watching the fastest growing visual podcast in the
Facts.
Memphis market. Give it up for
Facts.
that. Yeah. I got my lovely co-host, Angelica Jelly Woods, in the building. Give it up for my lovely co-host. Give it up for her. Yeah. Right. She just told us
See, I
that
do.
she
did.
drank champagne behind Diddy,
Diddy, yeah.
from the bottle.
From the bottle.
Ooh,
I didn't put my
what it taste
lip
like?
on it.
How'd you do it then,
He
Angelica?
drunk out his own bottle. He poured it in our cups.
So,
Oh.
I'm just saying. I'm gonna do a visual. Y'all.
She might as
You
well took
laughing
it to
too
the
hard. You
head.
laughing too hard.
She
Okay?
might, hey, look.
I was in college. Okay. I was at Howard University. I went to one of his parties.
grooming you?
Oh, yeah. So what did Meek Mills taste like?
Uh-oh.
Meek Mills wasn't on the scene then. I'm not
Oh,
that young.
okay. My bad.
Well,
My
I
bad,
ain't
my
that
bad.
young now.
Man, give it up for my DJ. That's my DJ Kojak in the building. Yeah, DJ Kojak. Scratch it up for him
He ain't no
4
clap
times,
yet.
Kojak.
He ain't-
Bam. One time.
For the champagne bottle.
For the champagne.
For the Cristal.
bottle. That's for the Cristal.
Right. Hey, let me ask you something, Michael Adrian Davis. Did you hear that scratch?
no.
Oh,
I'm team him today. I'm
God.
sorry. Yep, he didn't hear it.
Yeah, we didn't hear it earlier either, did we?
No,
Angelica?
yeah,
because
he on his own.
because Kojak was late before you were late, Michael. Look, yeah. I think they
I
were
received
riding
whatever.
together.
I bought the little Caesar.
Right.
Come on, man. You gotta
They were
turn up.
riding together over there.
That
in
ain't
Little
making no
Caesars.
better.
Yeah, I'm telling you, over there messing that
Yeah,
Little
I'm
Caesars up.
sure.
Talking about they ain't
First
making
of all,
it
I'm on
better.
the same slice of pizza. I'm eating the crust. They always got to over
We need to use some of your legislative power to get Austin P them lights up there. That's what got me late. I got
There you go.
5
Put it
times
back
the
on him.
same light.
See?
Hey, so first of all, let's give it up for Michael Adrian Davis.
Uh-oh.
Let's give it up for we roast. Yep. So I want to get the pleasantries out the way.
Before you get in.
Secondly,
Yes, sir.
yes, you are in the capital of Memphis, Raleigh, right? 38128.
Love
And-
the new
and-
Valley Spring area right there.
Right, that's right. That's right. We got our amphitheater being
Yeah.
installed right now
Is that
on the
what's
water.
happening?
That's
Okay.
what's happening. And
88.5 gonna bring
yeah,
some over.
okay, all right. And so this traffic, that's called growth. Right, and so,
okay.
but what it means is,
Perspective.
see, I wasn't even gonna go there this second,
Okay,
but
come on,
what it means
come on.
is,
ADHD.
you shift from that CPT to CST, right, and
Okay.
look at Kojak. See, Kojak don't even want to look at us because he was late too.
Is this habitual, though? He's
No, it's
habitual?
not habitual. It's
Okay,
not.
all
It's not.
right, yeah.
No, we've already while Kojak was gone, we already planned to come to Jesus meeting amongst us all, So
Okay.
Time
so-
out in the corner.
right, yeah. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, man. So Michael. First of all, when we had these meetings, we had planning meetings, right? And so for the show, we had a planning meeting for this show, and apparently, Angelica, Kojak didn't listen to nothing we said, right?
Just like us. This is
Right. And so because Kojak's excuse was, I thought we started at 6:00,
we ain't
and we're like, N-word, we ain't started at 6:00.
ever.
Right, ever,
When?
right? And so apparently he was not listening, which brings me to my question. What are 5 things black people say when they're not listening to you? Give me one, Angelica.
For real.
Yeah, that's
Over and over
definitely
again.
one. Yep.
They want to confirm that they listen if they really ain't listening. So
Right.
you just say for real.
Yeah.
Like that's what they do for real.
Kojak, what's one you used on us in the planning meeting?
Dig that. Dig that.
Dig that. Just nod your head. Dig that.
Dig that.
Right.
You
Dig
know
that.
what was
dig that.
going on.
Yeah.
Dig that.
Michael, you got one, man. What is a thing that black people say when they're on the phone with you, but they really ain't listening?
Say less.
Oh,
Say
they
less.
that
Yep.
too.
Yep.
That's a good one.
Yep. I got one for y'all. So, man, that shit crazy.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy.
Man,
crazy.
that's crazy.
Right. If you get 3, that's crazy. It's time to get off. You got to
They're
get off the
doing
phone.
That's the
something
same
else.
thing
Right,
with for real.
Right.
For
Right.
real.
You got one, Nichelle or
Rico.
Rico? Oh, yeah. Wow. Yep. Wow. Yeah, that's definitely one. When they ain't listening, they saying wow. Yeah. So that's what we got basically from Kojak. So he was on the planning call, and that's why he was 30 minutes late. Yeah. 30 minutes late.
30.
30. And send a text
30,
message saying the food will be ready in 10 minutes, which
And it's hot
means
and ready
he had
pizza.
just got there.
It's hot and ready to be. He had Old Venus.
And it's
pizza
Little
now.
Caesars.
Yeah, his little. He went to Old
They
Venus.
cooked this specially for us.
They did that. They did that. So look, I do want to talk about this too. Michael, you worked you at 88.5, right? And you're in the school system, right? And so yesterday we all experienced these school shooting or mass shooting threats in the schools, right? And we all know that of course some video that we got from Southwind High School here in Memphis. Parents were there coming to pick their kids up because of the threats, and there was some couple little melee kind of things that were going on, right? And what did Nichelle say?
Daddy.
Come on, Angelica. What did she say?
Talking about them bonnets showing up at that school. That's what she was talking about.
What did she say? Oh, so parents were showing up
The parents on campuses in droves, in parentheses, in bonnets. Okay, that's what it said.
Okay, little petty, right? But parents were showing up at their children's school, and they were wanting to get their children out of school, but schools were in lockdown, and so there was some some challenges there. Couple questions I do want to ask you. One is, what are your thoughts on the time that we're in with in regards to these school shootings and these threats? And my second question, is what are your thoughts on cell phones? Children having their cell phones in school.
Yeah, and I would imagine it probably takes much more forethought than what I've been given. So I won't try to act as any authority on this.
Of course you will. We want you to be.
But the times that we're in, you know what I mean? It's sort of like that movie or that series on Netflix, Black Mirror. Where they have cautionary tales. You know what I mean, about how this social media age is just going to really run us until it runs us out of here. You know what I mean? And so
I hadn't seen that, but I will check it out.
Oh man, check it out.
Yeah, they need to be a sponsor though. You gave them the shameless plug. But, yeah, okay.
But so there's a lot of things that are going on social media wise that gives us groupthink that allows us to all be herded into this direction or that direction. I've been in radio 30 years.
30 years.
And for probably 23 or 24 of my years, whatever they told me, I told y'all. I didn't vet it. I didn't look and see if it was propaganda. I didn't see who it was coming from, you know, because I was making good money. And so I was just saying what I was told. But one day a guy told me that the days of the weeks were named after planets. I was 47 years old, and I never forget. And so I said, no, man. Then I Googled it. Are the days of the weeks named after planets? And true enough, it was. And so from there, I was like, what else don't we know? And so this is the time that we're in, a time where, you know, and then you find out people have been manipulating humanity for a while now. And, I mean, you think of shows like Will and Grace. We talked about that today when it first, you know, that LGBTQ lifestyle first got on television. I mean, it was so lovable and likable. Now you fast forward 10, 15 years later, you know, we kind of accept it. You know what I mean? It's kind of not saying that you shouldn't accept it, but I'm saying that's how it kind of worked its way.
You've been very kind. Everything is LGBTQ on TV. Everything is. You
But back in the 80s, it wasn't.
Right.
And you know, back then, 80s and 90s, to be LGBTQ was harder. You know what I'm saying? And so, again, I digress, though. But so the times we're in, and cell phones in schools, again, anything's like a seatbelt. A seatbelt can save your life, or it could choke you and kill you. You see what I'm saying? And so it depends on circumstances. So I don't know. I can't blankly say they should take it out. And I can't blankly say that they should keep it in. So I really can't give you an answer, to be honest with you.
Okay. Yeah, you know, I'm adamantly opposed to them taking the cell phones from the kids. Now, however, I am for them telling the kids, making the kids keep their cell phones put up during classroom time, right? But not taking them from them because, as I told, you know, there was a bill that came down through the Tennessee legislature, and I voted against it. We actually killed the bill that said that the schools could take away the cell phones of the kids, right? And I was like, no, because as long as we're in this culture, this gun culture, where people can run up in these schools and shoot these schools up, shoot the kids up, no, they should be able to keep their phones and be able to communicate with their parents. And I looked at you know, some of the interviews at the Appalachia school shooting in Georgia, where some of them parents, you know, that was the last moments that they talked to their kids. Some of them parents, this is what, you know, them communicating with their kids was incredibly helpful to them, right? One parent at the, not Uvalde, but in the Florida school shooting, they you know, that's the one where the dude was in there shooting and the sheriffs were standing by, right? And they were in there shooting. But one parent tried to run in the school and get her child out, and she was held up by law enforcement. And then she slipped around and ran in there and saved her child and got her child out. Right. You know, right. Thank you.
And I thought about that when first of all, when the school says the school is on lockdown, that means that theoretically nobody comes in or goes out. So let me first say I'm the advocate for not going into that space because, again, if there was an active shooter, you could have got killed yourself. He was looking for somebody to shoot. Everybody else was safe until you came running up in there. You know what I mean? So that could be a scenario. However, based on what you just said, there are a lot of parents that say, if there's a shooter, I got my own gun. Let me go handle my own business, right? But that particular instance where the officers sat around, that is an anomaly. And that's, you know what I mean? That's like one. The rest of them, you'll hear the security officer killed him, police officer killed him, or they subdued the place. You know what I mean? So we can't use where the officers did sit around, and that was horrendous. You know, as a parent, can you imagine that had they gone in earlier, your child might have been safe? I think they're suing them now, trying to get money, that kind of thing. But that's irrelevant. So I can see the emotion of a parent when you say something to say, no, I'm going to go handle my own. But I'm saying I just suggest that not be the case because with all those parents coming doing, and I heard, did I hear it correctly? Somebody told a kid to run out the back door or something and meet them in the back door or something. I don't know. But if that's the case, then the cell phones, you know, would be culpable in that particular moment. So, you know, because what it'll probably come to is Big Brother will have a device where he can shut something in the school and all your cell phones are rendered useless. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sure that exists already, but I tell you this though, man. I love our educators and I appreciate them.
Yes.
But if my child was still in school, I would not be dependent on an educator to decide the fate of my child.
Educator, what do you mean? But law enforcement would be deciding.
Well, you know, but you know, before law enforcement even gets to them, you know, you're looking at. And first of all, let me preface with this. You know, I love our educators. And I think they're heroes and sheroes, right? Because they're, you know, you watch some of them save lives. You watched one educator actually die, and the children had to drag his body back in. So, you know, but at the same time, your child is your child, and there's nothing stronger to me, you ask me, than a mother's love for her child.
I'm gonna die
Right.
in there with mine. Sorry, we gonna.
And so, yeah,
But again, you still got to realize though that again those and like Dr. Fagan said, that emergencies you don't get to deal with them every day. That's why they're called emergencies. And so when you say you don't trust your children to the educator, they've demonstrated that they don't want guns, that they don't want to
Right,
carry
yeah,
guns. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So they're not trying to be the policers of these things. But in that case, where the teacher covered the kids, that was in a moment where help was on the way, but this is the moment right now. And even the security guard who may have been in the school couldn't get to that room in the time that teacher had to make that decision.
I
So
think
you couldn't even got there in time enough to make the difference.
Well, and
That's all I'm
that
saying.
may be very true, and I won't push back on that.
Okay.
But what I will say is this though, is that communication is going to be the key to all of this,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
If we're properly communicating with the parents, if we are properly, communicating with law enforcement, then
Let's hope we can find a way to stop this. Y'all think it's mental illness? You think it's
No.
copycat stuff?
There's a
You
lot
think
of
it's
stuff going on.
You see what I'm saying? That's because we can do a shooter's drill. We can do. I mean, like Dave Chappelle said, "Oh, you having a shooter's drill?" And oh, where are you going to meet? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So most of the folks shooting is in the
They
school.
know,
He
they
in there
know.
with you.
They already know the
Doing
plan.
drill,
They know the
you
plan.
So I'm saying that we can do that all day long, but if we don't really kind of get to some of the root of this or something, because we can't police and protect our way out of this.
and that's my point exactly.
Because
Though.
even if
That's,
it was homeschool, somebody can still come in there and do something. you
yeah,
know?
but that's my point. That's my point. It's not just. I don't think it's just mental health. I think it's also the proliferation of guns out there, and also the accessibility to them. Now in Tennessee, you got to keep in mind, Tennessee, Georgia. I think Georgia's permitless carry. We're permitless carry. Anybody you can buy a weapon in the parking lot of Walgreens. You can buy an assault rifle in the parking lot of Walgreens with no background check. No, and it's completely legal.
Yeah.
And you can protect your home if somebody comes in there. Or if you have a mental illness, you can get a gun from anywhere and go kill everybody.
But that's my point.
Yeah.
That's my
So
point.
guns don't kill people. People kill people. And
But-
I'm saying
well,
to
I'm-
when you talk about the proliferation of the guns, which have been around a long time,
Well,
but this stuff is increasing because of. And you say it's not mental illness per se, but
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I didn't say
I'm
that.
saying you per
No,
se,
no,
like
I didn't
that's
say
not
that
the
at
main
all.
cause.
I said that. No, I didn't say that either.
I thought you said it was a series of
yeah.
a lot of
It
different
is. It's the accessibility, and it's the fact that people, there's no check and balance for people to have that access.
Okay.
There should be. I'm pro-gun. I'm a pro-gun Democrat. I'm a Marine, Michael
Yeah,
Adrian
yeah,
Davis. So I'm pro-gun.
Check
You're
this
right.
out. Suppose your son comes and say, "Dad, this dude messing with me," and you get him your legally purchased.
I wouldn't do
AK.
that.
No, I know
Yeah.
you wouldn't. But
Yeah.
isn't that the case of the guy in Nashville?
That's what happened.
Yeah,
But
that's what I'm saying.
no, the
So
guy
no
in
matter
Georgia.
what-
The guy in Georgia.
Okay, so
Yeah.
no matter what laws, if a licensed person buys it, then we back at square one, because it's just in other words, we can have all these laws, but if you go through all the hoops and you buy it legally, it's so like you can go and buy cigarettes from me and I'm 12.
But-
you know
but-
what I'm saying?
so-
The laws
so-
are there, but he bought it in, brought it to the open market.
And I get that, but I push back gently. I had a
Okay.
law that if an adult did that, right,
yeah.
and illegally transferred a weapon to a minor, and that minor did use that weapon in the crime, whether he used it in the crime or not, number one, that adult would be charged with a felony.
Okay.
Number two, that adult would be married to the crime that minor committed with that weapon. But the Republicans killed it, and that's my point I'm trying to make. They have put us in this culture, this culture where it doesn't matter. They were pushing for laws for teenagers to walk around legally and publicly with assault rifles on their back.
Did they not arrest the guy, the father?
It's Georgia.
So it's a law in Georgia, but it's not a law in Tennessee.
But it's not a law.
That wouldn't have happened
Right
if he had been
now,
in Tennessee, that
right
wouldn't have
now, if that would have happened in Tennessee, that father would have received a misdemeanor.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
that. But that's the
Okay,
culture
that's-
that we're in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What we getting wrapped? Yeah, that's the culture that we're in. So look, y'all, we'll be right back. We're gonna do an extra segment because Michael Adrian Davis came a little late, and no shade. Look, look, it's the look for me. I'm just, man. Look, I'm giving you a hard time, man. Don't take it personal. I'm giving you a hard time.
I can take a hard time.
But we do want to talk to Michael Adrian Davis about his history in radio and and what's happening now. And so y'all hit that subscribe button. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project. Okay. Welcome back to the Antonio Parkinson Project. I am Antonio Parkinson. You're watching the fastest growing visual podcast in the Memphis market. Give it up for that. Let's go, baby. We active in here.
Numbers,
We're
doing
gonna
the
get
numbers.
active. Right. Give it up for my lovely co-host Angelica Jelly Woods. She's full now, y'all.
I'm in for one slice of pizza.
Oh, okay.
I am.
Okay.
I'm struggling over here with my foot, Lord.
Okay, Angelica. Okay. DJ Kojak, that's my DJ. Give it up for my DJ Kojak in the buildings.
I'm still not clapping for him.
You ain't clapping for him? Why not?
That's y'all DJ. He ain't my DJ.
Why are you not clapping for
I'm
DJ
messing, but
Kojak?
I'm just joking.
Right. Oh,
Thank you. I appreciate that.
boo.
That little baby clap.
You
That
take
sure
it.
was,
You gonna
man.
I
take it.
take all
That
that.
sure
Shelby
was,
Kojak.
man. Yeah. Y'all give it up for Michael Adrian Davis. He's a wonderful
The
guest in the
man.
building. Give it up for him, man.
Right.
Hey, he can't play a lick of dominoes, but he sure is a good personality on the
I
radio.
don't know how to play.
Yeah, look.
You know, the guilty man fleeth, but no man pursueth.
Oh,
So I have nothing to say. You understand?
Right.
The numbers speak for themselves.
Is that what it is? That was straight from the book of Ninjalations. Right. So, Michael, tell us about you. First of all, you're from North Memphis.
Yes.
Right. What part of North Memphis are you from?
Well, on the other side of Smoky City.
Okay,
So right
all right.
between North Parkway. I grew up on North Parkway.
Okay.
Between Decatur and Ayers.
Okay.
And
Oh,
I went to
yeah.
North Side. Well, I went to Humes, Guthrie, and then I went to Snowden for fourth
Okay.
through
Oh,
ninth.
okay.
I went back to Humes my ninth grade year,
Uh-huh.
and then my whole family went to Tech, Yellow
Okay.
Jackets.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I went to North Side because I wanted to sing in the choir. And,
Oh, really? Oh,
And I ended
okay.
up going to college on a choir scholarship, so I think I made a good decision.
On a
Miss
chronic
June
scholarship?
Glenn.
What kind of scholarship? Did you say?
Choir scholarship.
Oh, I thought you said chronic. On a
Uh-huh,
chronic scholarship. Oh, okay. Okay. Where'd you go to school at? on
The
that scholarship?
University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff.
Okay, UAPB.
You are
UAPB.
probably black.
Okay. So do you show up at the Southern Heritage Classic now? You see any folks that you know when you show up?
Yeah. The last couple of years have been great. Seeing some faces that I recognize
Yeah.
as opposed to Jack. Well, I was on a radio station in Jackson, Mississippi for about 15
Oh,
years.
really?
I voice tracked out of Memphis on the Hallelujah station with iHeartRadio. So
Gotcha.
I had some faces in Jackson, had some some connections there as well.
Yeah. Okay.
But
okay.
UAPB, of course, and I don't know if it's been extended, the contract past this year. I hadn't heard talk of you.
Yeah, I have not. I don't know if it's going to be if they come back next year. But we got to send a shout out to Deion Sanders who jacked that whole thing up. Right, man,
really?
just totally destroyed it and got on down, man. I'm telling you, boy. Yeah. So where was your start in radio?
At K-Faith Love 107, 30 years ago, Gregory and Michael Seegers. I had come out of college, and I worked for Blue City Culture Center for a while with Debbie and Levi
Okay,
Frazier.
yeah.
And then I was at the Cannon Center somewhere just practicing my little voiceover stuff. And he heard me from behind the curtain and said, Davis, so I came down.
It's like that. That's not like the Diddy stuff,
and,
right?
and worked, and worked 4 hours, once, 4 hours a week. I got paid for it, but I was there like 7 days a week.
Yeah,
And
'cause you loved
learning
it,
the
right?
craft and learning. That's when we had reel to reel and
Yeah,
all that kind of
yeah.
stuff back in the day.
Okay. And then what was next? What happened?
After K-Faith Love 107, then Bishop Willis sold the station. It was the first FM formatted radio gospel station in the nation that I was on. So that's a piece of history for me as well. 24-hour station that is, because a lot of FM stations had gospel from 6 to 10.
Yeah.
on Sundays and stuff
I
like that.
remember them days.
But this one was 24 hours, 7 days a week. And Bishop somebody Willis, and he had the station, but then he sold it, and it became WXSS, and I went there for a while. And then I matriculated over to WLOK for a minute. And my real foray into radio, and I'll be quick about this, is when I went over to WRVR.
The River.
Because prior to that, at his station, we were sitting on milk crates and, saying checks may or may not come,
Right.
I wasn't married then, so I could afford to do that,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
I thank God for that time. And so when I went over there, though, and saw everything working properly, and I saw what radio really could be, that you really could have a future in this. And so that's when I really went hard, and then, landed over at WLOK for a while, and then Tracy Bethea got me at, V101 Smooth 101 as a production manager. And then after that, I was on AM 990 The Light, and after that, Bruce Demps decided to put something on FM. And so then he had people survey, and we ended up moving over to 95.7 Hallelujah FM, and I was there 15, however many.
Okay, let's talk
Turn 'em
about
on.
this. Let's talk about Hallelujah.
Turn them off.
Yeah.
Right. So of course, for all of us, first of all, number one, you was the baddest man in the morning show.
Come on, man.
And
Come on,
Hallelujah.
man.
Real talk, man. Even if you didn't listen to gospel music, man, you
listen
tuned
to you
in,
every morning.
to turn them on and turn them off,
off.
right?
Yeah.
Turn them on. Say it for us one time. Turn them on.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Voice, boy.
Yeah, real talk. Yeah, and so what happened, man? Why did you end up leaving?
And if
Hallelujah?
you remember, I told you guys at 47, I had an epiphany of information. I basically, when I went down the rabbit hole and kind of started seeing the realities of how the world really works, I kind of no longer wanted to do that. You know what I'm saying? And I
Come on, man. Don't give us the uncut version, brother.
and
Come
so-
on,
and
you're
so-
on the Antonio Parkinson
well,
project.
And so at
Right.
at the same time that I was having this epiphany, still making this very good salary, and I began to prepare. I moved from this big house that I was in to a very small house because I started to prepare to live beneath my privilege because I knew I wanted to stand on my own.
Right.
You know
Got
what I'm
you.
saying?
Live beneath your privilege.
And what happens is that you know, what is it? What is a man? What has he got if not himself? Then he has not. So there was a lot I wanted to say. It wasn't necessarily the dogma of the religion. It was the platform of the power. In other words, just take something like Sister Strut, where they got all these people, you know what I'm saying, coming paying $35 a month and they just walk out of town with $500,000, $600,000, $700,000. But we think because K97, DIAV, all these, that the black community has finally come together and doing something for ourselves, right? Which is what I was about, but that wasn't the case. It was the case that they did it in Nashville, they did it in St. Louis, and they found out that we go for that. They didn't even block off the streets. They put us in Tiger Lane and let us walk in circles and gave us a banana in the backpack.
The whole point there now.
So these are the things that when you're carrying the water for someone, and again, I'm not coming for anybody. I'm just simply saying that I can't speak. Even where I am now, this will probably be my last year in this iteration of myself because I'm carrying the water for the school system. And again, I want to be able to say unequivocally what I like to say.
So in other words, what you're saying is you're ready for us to produce your podcast.
Well, hey, I'm definitely going to do one.
Okay, all right, okay. Well, welcome to Black Market Strategies.
Oh,
We
say
produce
that, say
podcasts. Right. Interesting. Very.
And at the same time that was happening, there was also a new general manager who came in, and then he was trying to flex his muscles at the same time. And because I was, kind of puffing my chest, especially in the money negotiations, because I remember Bobby OJ said, "Man, I wish I could do that." I said, "Bobby, come on, man. I was looking for a job when I found this one, right? So I was really snappy, you know what I'm saying? So the guy was going to cut the head off the snake, and then 95.7 was like 1 and 2 in the ratings, but you couldn't sell condoms or casinos and this guy. There's a lot of stuff you couldn't sell on the gospel station.
Right.
So if you cut the head off the snake and still let it operate, and then another station comes up where you can sell all that stuff. It might have been in the cards, I don't know.
Right.
But either way, you know what I'm saying? So we both kind of met halfway, and he hit me blindsided. I knew it was coming because I would have done it myself, but he did it. So I did get fired. Matter of fact, Devin Steele walked me down the hall. We laughing and talking. Little did I know that I was going into this room. You understand what I'm saying?
Going to the guillotine.
So the guy was there, and then had a little police officer there. You know what I'm saying? And so we went in, and they told me this, and I asked the question, and I saw that it was a done deal. So basically, me and the police officer started talking and got a relationship, and we got on down. You know what I'm saying? Again, that same adage of I was looking for a job when I found this one is kind of how I live.
Yeah.
And I understand that money is a fiat currency. It's not real. I understand that all of this is just a means to an end. And so once I minimize the need for that validation or currency or even the opinion of people,
Or to be enslaved.
Once you get delivered from that, man, life just gets a whole lot better for you.
Man, let me
things
tell
gonna
you-
come your way.
on,
man.
And bad things happen to good people, and so it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? You could be doing the right thing, but you could still get run over if you don't keep moving. You could be on the right road, so you got to keep moving in spite of what comes your way. Yes, sir.
Man, let me tell you something, man.
Preach the whole
Let me
lot.
tell you something, bro. Let me tell you something. Just the day before yesterday, and I called one of my pastor friends, your pastor, as a matter of fact, and because I've been, these words been hitting me, man. I've been in rapid fire this week, last week. You know how it happens,
Yeah.
right? And and I posted it on Facebook. I said a lot of, or probably the majority of decisions that we make are made because we are seeking acceptance or validation from somebody else.
Yeah.
And think about how that has shaped your life, because you made this decision, whether it's for a parent, a boss, girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, child, right? Or your buddies in the street. You think about the ones that made the decisions for their buddies in the street, because you wanted to be accepted by these people or this organization.
Here's what I learned in this recent ordeal that I just went through of an allegation for me. And when I say that bad things can happen,
Well,
to
hold
good
on.
people,
Let's talk
we'll
about
that.
yeah,
We'll talk about- But what I understood was that half the people don't care, and the other half are glad it's you.
Yeah,
So
right.
what you have to do is you have to realize that, people like the drama. People like those things, and so based on, and so if you want to talk about it, however you want to get into it, but
I just want you to finish your thought.
okay, but that was my thought.
this-
Is that half the folk don't care, and other half glad it's you, and so when you are grounded and rooted in who you are. And if you walk in integrity and you walk in, because my record speaks for me. I'm 30 years in. I've been in a lot of sacred spaces in this city, in this town, and so you would kind of know somebody's character. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
After a while,
Yeah,
you
you
can
can
fake
tell.
stuff for
Yeah.
a while, but after a while, dude gonna start looking down at your chest.
Right,
you know what I'm
right,
saying? He gonna show
yeah.
his hand in a minute.
Yeah.
So
But that's why we believe the Diddy stuff, though. But I'm just kidding, man. I'm
see,
just kidding, man.
So
Go
I,
ahead.
so I kind of stand firm on that, and now when I came back after this allegation is all cleared up, and
Wait a minute,
now-
hold on. You putting the cart before the horse, if
Okay,
you don't
all
mind,
right.
because if you don't mind, and the reason why I say that because I want to get us from DIA to 88.5.
You mean
first.
95.7?
95 points, yeah,
95.
95.7 to 8. So from iHeart to
So again, after
Memphis,
I left, I bought the old Casey's Motel in South Memphis. When
I remember that. Remember we talked about
I
that.
still
Yeah.
have it, but can't really find the purpose or the capital to kind of get it done. So get at me, if you're an investor. All right, but I digress.
Yeah,
And so after I left 95.7, I lived in that property for a year. I renovated it. I did my television show out there. Joan called it palatial, is what she called it. But anyway, so I had to look it up. That means palace-like. But anyway, so after that, I sat there for a year, and then John Best, somebody
Yeah,
called
Brother
me.
John, yeah.
And,
He was on the show. We had him on the show.
Yeah, okay, because I didn't put in not one resume. I didn't call not one person in the industry. I just stood still to see what was supposed to be next for me. And then they called me, and then I knew it was a drastic cut in pay, but they also had the television station, C19, and I knew my next move was from radio to television. And so it didn't work out like that. I've been there 6 years and hadn't really got on television. Don't even put me on the website.
You got
but
John
still,
Bested. You got
hey,
John Bested.
See,
Right.
but listen, but so I'm there, you know what I'm saying, and it's still there, and the future is still open, you know what I mean? But just so far it hadn't happened. That's all I was saying. So then I went to 88.5, and Paul Gabala, I think, was doing the morning show.
Paul Gabala,
and so
yeah.
then I ended up taking over the morning show, and kind of that's where I am now.
And lit it up.
Yeah.
Lit the morning
Well, I don't
show.
know.
Man.
Well, I can say when I came, we were 27th in the market, and I think we're tied for like 15th now.
Hey, but
That's a non-commercial station.
That's a non-commercial
you know what I'm saying?
station.
With no giveaways, no
Yeah.
$1,000 every hour type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So when we get that, and once we put that kind of focus on it, if that was the desire, but again, that's a numbers game, and that was another thing I was disenfranchised, having 14 and 15 endorsements, many of things that I didn't believe in.
Right.
And so I'm saying, so a lot of times you just got to decide for me. I have no qualms with anybody else. I told Sherry, girl, you better do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Don't jump off the ship because I'm going.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And so she's still there doing her thing. And
Yeah.
I hope the station, I think Dre is gone now, but whatever it is, it is. All I can say is for me in my house, you know what I'm saying? I have peace in my mind. I'm doing what I want to do, not what I have to do.
Yeah.
And I'm just taking life as it comes.
Man, there's an incredible level of freedom that comes with that, man. You know, real talk. You know, I look at, it's no different in the political world, man. You know, you get people that will sell their souls for things that they really don't believe in, man. And you know, you look at the person, you be like, bruh, that ain't even you though, and you're supporting this.
Yeah.
That's
That's
not
why
even
it's
you.
hard for politicians and for pastors. You know what I'm talking about? In other words, we got to wrap it up.
No,
You know, so
no,
for
go ahead.
politicians, you start out, with these big morals and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, you get entry. Like you said, when you walk down, these people patting you on the back and
Yeah.
they're doing all this stuff, and you
Pride.
get into all the stuff. Next thing you know, you voting for something that you don't believe
you
in,
don't
and you're
believe
not
in.
voting for something that you do believe
and
in
that
because
will-
you want to maintain that. So if you never had nothing, it's hard. But when you've had something like I've had, when when you made over $1 million in a career over time, then you understand that the money is not the mission now. I got grandkids. I've got things that I want to see happen in this community. You know what I'm saying? And I listen to Dr. Claude Anderson. I think you're familiar
That's
with
my
him.
guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
yeah. I
you
based
look
my
at
politics
Yeah, you look at the
around
stuff.
his
Okay,
teaching.
okay,
Yeah.
the stuff that he's doing. So this wheel has been invented already. We don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
The Panthers weren't run out of town
Right.
because of the guns. It was that WIC program and that feeding program and breakfast. And
Right.
the black kids were saying that stuff before they ate
Right.
their food. And by the time they got to school, they were so inoculated from any of that drama that they didn't want that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Oh,
that's
yeah.
why they were crushed. But they got the 12-point plan, so it's out there already. It's just a matter of us as, because I'm concerned about the entire city,
Right.
but black people in particular, because I am on a team, as
Yeah.
Claude Anderson would say.
Right.
You're on a team,
Right.
and so you have to play accordingly to that. So
Yeah.
I'm concerned about that.
Yeah, and if it's Claude Anderson. For those that don't know, if you have not had a chance, pick up the book Powernomics.
Okay.
You want to read it. I promise you, it's a life changer. and you know, he had a plan. He has a plan for us. Yeah, you had a question, Angel?
Yeah, I do have a question. Cause
Step up to the mic,
when we
please,
First,
if you don't
it's my foot, y'all. When we first started, you went on into mental health, and I know that has to be a big thing for you. Do you still do your Mad Widower group for men?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Matter of fact,
'cause
it's next Thursday.
Can you tell us more about that for
Okay.
people who don't know? Because
Yeah.
that's great
Nice.
work. So
my
yeah.
wife died in 2007 of
Yeah.
non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. My son Mike was 17. My daughter was 12. And so I walked through that. I lived it, and I vowed that I wasn't going to let anybody take my kids because my dad left when I was young. So sink or swim, she stayed with her crazy dad until
Right.
she didn't. You understand? So at that point, though, now it's taken all this time for me to be able to really talk and to be able to kind of communicate on that. So I've started a group called Mad's Widow Warriors. It's every third Thursday. This month it'll be the fourth Thursday at Curry and Jerk in downtown Memphis. And there, I call it a diamond room, but he said it's a some kind of room down in the basement.
Yeah,
You
I
know
did my
what I'm
birthday party down
Yeah,
there.
and so last month we had Mr. Rainey, Brandon Rainey from New Direction, whose wife passed, and he had 6 kids. So he had a
Wow.
real strong testimony, and it's just a safe place for us to come together, talk about good times, kind of talk about best practices, have some mental health professionals come in. It was Charles Winton Jr. last month, and I'll have someone coming in next Thursday that'll also kind of be there. But then after that, I think they are trying to do karaoke after that. So if you start a fellowship, because in church you don't fellowship. Fellowship starts when you go out to Piccadilly's or when you go bowling or when you doing sewing circles. You see what I'm saying? So oftentimes as men, we don't really talk. We talk superficially
Yes,
about
I
the
was gonna say
Cowboys,
that,
and
yeah.
we talk about Caitlin Clark. I'm a Caitlin Clark fan. Anyway,
Oh,
I
okay,
digress.
okay.
Yes, I am.
Then he said there was some
Yeah,
authority
yes,
too.
sir,
Like,
yes, sir,
like,
yes, sir, yes, sir.
yeah, but she can ball though.
But in a good way, and we do everything but talk about the real
Yeah.
substance that we talk. Hey man, sometimes I sit in the driveway 20 minutes before I go in the house. You do that too,
Ooh,
man. You know what I'm
man.
saying? And then
I've
we
done
start.
it,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Fellowship, man. And that's where it is. And I tell my pastor friends all the time, you know what I'm saying? You see people get out of church and then somebody's hurting, they want somebody to connect with them.
Yeah.
And people talk and then they say talking about where they're going to eat, but they don't say nothing to this person.
Yeah,
Then
they really
they on the
feel.
parking lot and they just have the nerve to wave at the person.
Yeah.
Yep, no
yeah.
good
You know,
well.
he's like,
Yeah.
oh man.
Yeah,
you
with
know what I'm
a
saying?
piece of chicken in their mouth.
Yeah,
Right, yeah, yeah.
So I'm just
Yeah.
saying we just got to be more sensitive to the needs of people, and we can do it.
So
That's
you that's first of all, that's incredible, number one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Secondly, and unique. Very unique. But you've obviously dealt with your share of pain, right? And so while I for us that are on the outside looking in, and watching you move on through radio and 88.5, killing the game. For us on the outside looking in, you run into this situation with this young lady. Walk. Can you walk us through that?
No, I'm not
Okay.
going to walk you
Okay,
through
okay.
it because I am going to deal with this, but I'm going to deal with
Is it not dealt with yet?
Yeah, it's done. It's
Okay,
done.
okay,
So it's
okay,
over.
okay,
And-
okay.
Well, it never really was a thing.
Right,
And
right.
this is,
Yeah.
well, this is
Yeah.
when I come back and talk about it, I want to come back where somebody can be helped.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? I'm not
Yeah.
just griping some grievances. As a matter of fact, after it was over, John asked me how I wanted to deal with it. When I said, man, I just want to go back to work. Again,
Yeah.
40% of the people didn't know. 40% of the people believed I was innocent. And then the other 20% just going to hate. You know what I'm saying? No matter what, or not hate. I don't know. It's not. That's not my thing. And so here's the thing, though. I'm saying though the news said that I was charged with something. See, what basically happens is you say something, I say something, right? And then somebody decides, well, is there any probable cause?
Right.
Should we even go forward
Right.
with this? Okay. And then you are charged.
Right.
But before that, it's she said something, and he said something. And when it went before the people who can look and see if it make even sense, they said we're not even going to waste the taxpayers' money. And then it never was a thing. You see what I'm saying? But how can I?
So it was dismissed.
And nobody
Yeah,
goes
it
unsayed.
never-
Nobody goes unsayed. though.
tell for our people that don't know. I'm just what was just give them because we're talking in code to our people that are watching, and so there were allegations made right by a
I mean,
lady.
it's easy to find. I think, unfortunately, it was public knowledge, and that's what I'll try to fix. In other words, there was no knowledge to be public, but it went public. You see what I'm saying? Of nothingness, and maybe it was a slow week or something. I don't know. And if you just read it, if you just read what I'm trying to get them to take it down, because after a while, my grandkids will be old enough to look at this kind of stuff. But I digress. If you look at it and you read it again, even the charges didn't say anything that was, you know what I'm saying? That was. Okay, I'm just gonna leave that alone. But anyway, I digress. But it's over. They looked at it and said that this was a grown person's thing, grown people, and
Okay,
basically, we can't get involved in that.
Right. So basically, there was a person that made some basically false charges against Michael, right? Sexual in nature.
I won't even say again. I asked the people, and I ask you to just allow me to tell this story in my own time, in my own way, as opposed to piecing it and causing more drama or more stuff. I have no ill will for that young lady. I wish her the best in her life, in her book, and whatever she's doing. But as a public figure, you got to know. And I'm 30 years. I think this is the first time that so I'm not above anything. You know what I'm saying? So again, just like I said about P. Diddy, if you did something, you should be big enough to handle the consequences of that. You see what I'm saying?
But to your point,
Okay.
You know, and I'm not pushing you on this.
Okay.
To your point, people know your character. Right. And, you know, we at breakfast this morning, you know, we do a stakeholders breakfast, which you should be at actually every third Friday. And we had Shelby County District Attorney Steve Mulroy at the breakfast speaking. And, you know, the Republicans are pushing this narrative that, you know, he's, you know, trying to give people or trying to make it so nobody has to have bail and they're violent criminals. And when at the breakfast and on this show just last week, we asked him, what's your role in when it comes to bail? And his response is, the DA does not set bail. And that's it, right? But again, to your 40-40-20, right? You know, and to your point about Diddy, when they put that narrative out there, some people run to it. Some people know, some people don't know. A lot of it is built in ignorance. Right. And unfortunately for our people though, you know, our people tend to run to, in a lot of cases, not all cases, the negative narrative.
Well, here's what I know: to whom much is given, much is required. And so my shoulders are big enough to handle this moment, and it came at the most inopportune time. See, I've been in gospel my whole career, so in gospel, people always try to put money in your hand. You see what I'm saying? And so I've never let that happen because I was making 200 and something. You know, I was good. You understand what I'm saying? Well, here I am. No, here I am, turning 60. Turning 60 years old.
I thought you were talking about good in your craft.
Hold on, go back. You're 60?
Yeah, I'm 60 years old.
Right.
So when this allegation came out, I was turning 60 March 9th. And then I also celebrating 30 years in radio. So I had a whole campaign called Mad 3060, right? And it was going to culminate with my birthday celebration at this big event, $100 play. Well, when that hit, everything went down. You see what I'm saying? It was like, because, you know, to your point, people don't know what to do. Then the news did. So it's like, boom. And so I just sat, but it was it's crazy for me to say, but it was a wonderful time for me to really do the shadow work. You know what I'm saying? To go, to go in, and because you look at yourself, how could something like this even happen? So you don't look without, you look from within.
Right.
What is in my life that I need to look at? What do I need to deal with? What's going on? What are my thought patterns? What's happening? Self-examination. That's all I did. And I had the time, I had the space to do it in, to meditate, to really go into the God that's on the inside of me. You know, we only operate on 10% of our conscious. The other 90% is our subconscious. And when you talk about, you know what I'm saying, the Bible says that the kingdom of heaven is within you. And so that, and when he constantly in the Bible told him to throw it to the right, throw the this to the right, come back to the right, everything to the right, because that's where that side of the brain is, where if you sit still enough and be still and just stop worrying about your wife, your mama, your car, your house, your boat, any of that, and then you let that, you just be still, and then what'll happen is when you get in your car and you're just finna go right, that's my voice will tell you, hey, go left. And if you are obedient, you go left, and you'll see a guy who had a blessing for you, and then you'll see, you see what I'm saying? So oftentimes that's what it did for me. And so when I came back with a new resolve that, one, I want to do something to help men, because there's a majority of men who get in this pickle because the people are mad, or they got another, you know, for a lot of reasons that aren't real, because if they're real, they need to go into the law thing and be adjudicated. But there needs to be something when it's just something that's not. You see what I'm saying? That's when I come back and really talk about this situation, that's where I want to come with some concrete things that we'd like to see in place legislatively, that you can't show a mugshot. Matter of fact, I shouldn't even had one. I went down there the first time. You just could have asked me to come back again.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about? But again, those are the kind of things that I want to get into that could be fixed with the legislation.
Can I say something about what you said? You said about being still, but a lot of times, obviously, we're always moving. I know I'm always doing something. Everybody,
you ready, Kojak?
Yeah, always doing something.
Here it comes, Kojak. I'm just kidding, Angelica. I'm just kidding.
Whatever.
Go ahead, Angelica.
But
Look.
God can make us be still to get our attention. So things happen because He knows us. We know what we're going to do, because He'll sit us down.
Yeah.
Everybody done been sat down before.
Sometimes by
Everybody-
choice or by force.
Yeah, by force,
Yeah.
so you can be still and hear him. Because sometimes we don't do it. That's all I gotta say. They always say I gotta talk about God, but
Man,
whatever.
nah, we don't say that. We just say
yeah,
we
he
got
just told my mama that in the parking lot.
we just said we have to endure a soliloquy every
Yeah.
show.
But that's
So,
true. He'll
so
sit
yeah,
us down.
yeah.
So
Yeah, but you know what
I've
though?
been sat
To
down.
your point, so
Sometimes.
I agree with you, Angelica. You know, but to your point, you know, inscribed on my walls in my office in Nashville is there's purpose in everything.
Okay.
A lot of times we do not know at that time what the purpose of this is, and it takes that sitting down, shutting the blank up, and listening so you can hear it. And here's what I think people miss an opportunity in learning to hear and understand how your spirit sounds. So you know to hear it. You know when you hear it, right?
yeah.
And it takes exercise.
Yeah.
It takes exercise.
What's that guy, RS1, the rapper back in the day?
KRS-One.
Yeah.
Shame on you for not knowing
okay.
KRS-One.
Hey, I was in gospel a long
Right,
time, bro,
right.
since I started.
Right.
But listen, so that guy, it's one of his lectures, like he's a lecturer now, and he told everybody to close their eyes, and he told them, don't move your mouth. He told them to say rock star, right? And then he said, so did you hear the voice? And everybody said, yeah. He's like, what voice was that that you heard in your head that you, without you speaking? And that's your still small voice that you probably had never really hear. And so we just got to be still sometimes. But sometimes our mama's in our ear, our dad is in our ear, social media is in our ear, and people are in our ear. So we have to be free thinkers. And unfortunately, we aren't. And that wasn't by mistake. This has been by design.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Come on, boy. You preaching, boy. We ain't got enough time for all
Since you
you.
got in here,
Man.
you done laid a lot of nuggets all through this place, and they gonna
this
miss
show
it.
Yeah,
will
man. He
be
done made up
watched
for his
over.
lateness,
I
right?
promise.
He done made up
you.
for his
Over.
You
tardiness.
did.
Right,
Yeah, since you came in here.
Yeah,
but
but so
Yes.
you know, you got through that now.
Yes.
Yep, and you're back in now, and you know, so what's next?
You know, for me, again, walking out this final version of me on radio, as you guys know me, and then finding a financial foothold that I get residual income. I bought some lots, I bought some things, but everything I have kind of right now is dormant. So I need an influx of cash to kind of make it all work. But the universe and God will tell me how that's supposed to go, or I should be supposed to leave Memphis. If nothing is working, again, I just be still and just do my due diligence. If somebody tell me about the opportunity, I fill out the stuff. If somebody say I do what I can do, and after you've done all you can do, and it's still not working, see, my prayer is, God, if it's not your will, don't let it work. You know what I'm saying? So I'll just keep on at the thing. I've been 8 years over there. You know what I'm saying? Doing food truck, I've been doing candy car festivals and all kind of stuff for the South Memphis community. And I'm from North Memphis. You know what I'm
Right, yeah,
saying?
that might be the problem,
But
right?
see, that's but that might be the problem why I'm not getting the folk. You know what I'm saying? It's a connection. You know what I'm saying? For sure. It's, but whatever it is, you know, I know that I'm still going to be used in some kind of way. So when I go to there are things like the circadian rhythm that is it's based off the word circadian, which means a 24-hour period is regulated by the sun. So there are a lot of things they tell us don't eat after 6, but we don't really know why, the science of this. And so there are things like Mansa Musa and Songhay and Mali.
Boy,
You know what I'm saying?
on, man.
There are some
Hey,
things that
those
I
who
wanna talk about.
know, right?
When
Yeah.
the students are ready, the teacher
Yeah.
will appear. Not that I'm the teacher, but if we ain't saying nothing, then there's nothing for people to listen to. And if I'm on 95.7 or these stations, I got to be talking about what they want to talk
Right,
about.
yeah.
I got to talk about the Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
I got to talk whatever it is they say.
Yeah.
And so if I'm on my little space, even by myself, you know what I'm saying? I've had people for 30 years, so I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's crazy is, you know, radio operates on frequency, and you can't even get into the space.
Stop it.
Come on,
Stop
boy.
it.
Yeah, I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it
all right,
because I ain't gonna do it. But you know,
Yeah, yeah. So it's some esoteric and exoteric. One of them is something that everybody understands, and something that's, and others is something that's hidden. And oftentimes the hidden one, and then it's cognitive dissonance. I talked about that this morning. That I can give you some information about, you know what I'm saying, this political party or this person, but if your mind is already set, it's sort of like an algorithm. If you don't like this person, all your timeline gonna give you that. So that's why I don't do that. When they ask the question, would you vote? I don't participate in none of that. I fast forward through commercials because, can I say this? Y'all look up Edward Bernays, who is what's considered the father of propaganda in America.
I'm familiar.
And so he,
That's the key to marketing.
Yeah,
Come on now.
and so
Yeah.
when I learned his method of operandi, and I learned how over time from the Bay of Pigs to when he did it with smoking, when he did it with that we are just been set up.
Herded.
Over
You've been
and over and over again.
herded.
And so I want to use
Right.
those same modalities on us, except to a more accepted end. In other words, if we are conditioned like this, in other words, if I'm a rapper, instead of rapping about some debt, I tried to get an LLC, but these mothers wouldn't support me, right? Right? So now listen, so
Bars.
if a kid tries to emulate you, what's an LLC, mama? He got to look up, you see what I'm saying? He got, you know what I'm
We
saying?
looked up what Ciroc was.
Yeah, you
right.
see what I'm
Right.
saying? Or was it
Waukesha.
Percocet,
Waukesha.
Molly,
Yeah, yeah.
Percocet. I didn't even know what that was.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, so we can use the same thing, but the gatekeepers are only letting through so far right now those things, because there's a lot of positive rappers out there. There's a lot of guys that's doing stuff, but you don't get to hear them. And 88.5 is probably the closest thing that you're going to hear songs like your my vote don't count and things. You know, they're rapping about voting and stuff like that. So we got a lot of room. That's why I'm happy there for a moment, because again, I get so much freedom. If you listen to me, you know, every morning I be, you know what I'm saying, thinking that, you know, but I don't spew hate or anything like that, but I just literally give facts that other people don't really talk about.
You know, interesting. I'm noting the shell, but keep it rolling the shell. So look, you know, because you done went there, but you know, interesting. You know, I told you I've been getting hit across the head with that good stuff, right? These last couple of weeks, right? And one of the things that I posted, and you're on time. Okay. You getting the look? She giving you the hook.
We good.
Look at it. Just look at us one time. Look, she acting like she don't see us. Look. Look. I'm just kidding. We just messing with you over here. But listen. So one of the things I said, and I try to wrap this up, but I said that number one, authenticity is the nucleus to charisma.
Okay.
Let me walk you through this, and then the next thing was you have to be operating in your full, uncut authenticity, which you obviously are, right? In order to be fully into your purpose, right? And your authenticity, watch this, your authenticity is where your authority resides. Watch this, because if you think about it, you're uniquely wired for your purpose, right? But you have to be walking in that authenticity of that wiring to be in your purpose. And guess what? Nobody else belongs in that space where your purpose is but you. So you have the full authority and dominion of that space.
That's good.
Come on.
That's good.
Right?
Obviously.
And that's why I'm seeing that's what where I'm seeing you go based on what you're telling us here at the show. And so again, and when you're operating in that full authenticity, everything that you're supposed to be doing, all of your purpose and all that stuff will lay out before you.
That's what's up. Before I go, I do want to say this, Antonio, that since I've known and seen you and you're operating around Memphis in the Mid-South, I think, you know, that you've been authentic in what you do.
Thank you for that.
I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And kind of what they see is what they get. And, you know what I'm saying? And I don't think you
That's true.
code switch. Whether you like it or love it, I mean, love it or hate it, you are pretty. When I see you at Kroger, you the same dude. I
Right.
see you when I saw you at the link, whatever that was we were just at. So I appreciate that about you, man.
Bless you,
And
man.
I ask that you not allow this system to change you.
Oh,
You know what I'm
absolutely
saying?
not.
And I think
Yeah.
you've kind of been in this game long enough to either, if you were, you would have changed by now.
Yeah, probably so.
So
Yeah.
you see what I'm saying? So we figure we can rest with you. And I encourage the people to get to know about Antonio Parkinson as he ascends in his aspirations to go higher. Find out what he's about, his policies, what he stands for, what he's voted for in the past, and then see if we want to push him on up to the next level. You understand what I'm saying? Now, he might can't play dominoes all the time consistently. But when it comes to, you understand what I'm saying, some other things, he is a master at his craft, and he knows the legislature, the law, and I think he's going to try to put forth things that he thinks, in his opinion, really helps Memphis and this community. So let's roll with him until we don't.
And I truly appreciate that. I have no political aspirations other than what God says to do. If it
Okay.
ain't burning in my stomach, I ain't even thinking about
Looking
it.
for it, yeah.
Right, but I will say this. You know, first of all, you know, with as far as the Antonio Parkinson Project, it's my family over here that make this thing happen, make this
Okay,
thing great.
okay.
And
Don't try to
and
be
y'all
nice
give it up
to
for them,
the
give them a
dad.
round of applause.
would've been
And
nice if
secondly,
she was nice.
secondly, man, I want to really truly, you know, give you your roses while you're here, man, because man, you a bad mother
You are.
for real, and you have been, and you know, and you're a stand-up guy, man, real talk. And so, you know, I wish you the best, and for whatever it is that you're going to touch,
I've
whatever
definitely
else
been through
you're
a
going to touch.
lot. I've been through a
Yeah,
lot.
but
know
you
what I'm
know, you we survive things for a reason.
Yeah.
Right, and most of the time we survive.
I'm
in
moving
certain-
from what they say from success to significance.
Hey man, come on.
And so now I want to use all this street cred, all this
That
notoriety,
voice.
or anything that I
Yes.
have to really do something. In other words, instead of doing Sunrise, let me find a black company that's got a car company. Let's use that for, you know what I mean? I'm really, like Dr. Claude Anderson, he said the first thing is economic and wealth. It don't matter how smart you are, how much education you got. It don't matter none of that. If you ain't, you know what I'm saying, have the ability to sustain yourself, sustainable living. That's why I say, people, man, people think the richer you are, the more wealthy you are with more money. But actually it's just the opposite. The closer to zero you can live, that's the wealthier you are. No one can live at zero because you'll starve. But the closer you can live there, drinking rainwater or growing your own food or doing where you don't need the group, then you're wealthy.
True
because
independence.
you are really holding your own, and you can decide to step out and walk downtown, or you can decide to stay in where you want to be
and say what you want to say.
But you know what I'm saying. But you still be responsible in that, because even though you can say, though the Bible talks about everything are expedient but not lawful, and so you can say something. It's just like I could talk about that situation or try to spew hate or be mad or have venom. But again, nobody is shielded from trouble.
Yeah.
You know, they say a man that is born of woman is of a few days and they all filled with trouble, right? And so then it's all about perspective, though. See what I'm saying? One guy's trouble is another guy's just waiting to go eat. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm gonna stop because I know time is up.
Man, y'all give it up for Michael Adrian Davis. Yeah, baby. Yeah, man. And so how can everybody get to you? How can they watch you? How can they,
Yes, Mad
yeah.
Widows Warriors next Thursday, which is on the 29th, I want to say, that Thursday at, any men that's lost a spouse, a partner, whatever, just have them come down. And eventually we'll add the ladies because they do support those men in the new versions of themselves. Secondly, they can go to michaeladriandavis.com, and that's where you'll see the plan about the United Heritage Fund. And that's something we didn't talk about, but that's an initiative that I'll really start. And I've been having this about 8 years, man, that I figure it started with a fantastic 5,000. 5,000 people committing $20 a month. That would be $100,000 that we would have to dish out into this community.
We need that.
You see what I'm saying? And no, we ain't got to ask the mayor. We ain't got to ask nobody, nothing. You see what I'm saying? Because next month, a whole another 100,000 going to show up. See, I found that most of the time in other neighborhoods, their garbage cans area look kind of better than some of our whole businesses because we don't have the discretionary cash to do those things that are needed. But if we pull together, little becomes much when you place it in appropriate hands. And because I've had money before, I'm not a money hoarder or hungry of money. So if it can be done, I can do it. And if I can't do it, it can't be done. That's my attitude.
There you go. Hey, look, y'all make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. We appreciate you tuning in. You have been watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Bam.